Oh, look, I think the game changed 17th over. I think obviously I think we had a plan to Russell, which we executed well, and obviously we weren't quite alert enough in the field, and the game changed, and it's a fine line when you bowl to Andre Russell. He's a game changer, and obviously we had that little bit of jubilation where we got the things right, and then things turned pretty quickly, and we weren't able to turn those overs of 12, 14. They ended up being 24, 25, and we had 4 overs like that, which probably changed the game.
And the second one, how much did the Josh Butler incident have any effect on the team, or did it have any effect on the team?
We're very focused quickly afterwards in terms of preparing for KKR, so that's very much been our focus. And we've actually, obviously with a quick turnaround, it was a pretty quick change, to be fair. Focus turned, we had meetings obviously around scouting for KKR, focus changed pretty quickly.
Is it, even KKR has a very good opening combo. So, do you feel your team is a little bit top heavy? I mean, you need more people shouting over that. Not today's performance.
Oh, look, I think if you talk about previous years, you could say that. I think that's not right. I mean, the first 2 games, obviously we haven't got a huge amount of runs from the top. We've got runs from everybody in the top 6 in the first 2 games. So we've been fortunate. Obviously, Mayank, Sarfaraz got runs in the last game. Gale, Mandeep's played a couple of cameos, and obviously Davies come in and played a role. So I think that statement could be true of past teams in Kings 11. I don't think it's true now. I think we've got power and ability right through that top 6 and even deeper.
Yeah. And numbers suggest that bowling spin to Narayan is a pretty bad idea. Still, you guys took the chance with Varun newcomer first over in IPL. What thought process was it to play Narayan against spin?
Yeah, well, it wasn't so much Narayan. Obviously, Lynn was on strike at the start of that second over, so that was a matchup we were looking for in terms of doing that. And obviously, Narayan came on strike, and he was able to take toll. But Varun, it's his first game. I mean, he's nervous like anyone who ever played their first game, and I thought the way he came back in his second and third over was excellent, and that'll give him and us a lot of confidence. It's, as I said, playing your first game in front of a crowd like this is difficult, and Narayan's obviously going to hit from ball 1. I think if he had 3 or 4 balls to Lynn up front, he might have settled in a little bit quicker, but as I said, very pleased the way he came back.
Mike, what actually led to you make 4 changes to a winning combination?
Yeah, well, one, Nicholas Pooran obviously got injured, so that was a straight swap, and obviously Davey Miller's a big player for us. We felt on that surface, someone who was able to bowl back of a length, like Hardis Villion instead of a Sam Curran was the way to go, and Hardis bowled really nicely in that surface there. So those were sort of 2 big changes, and with Andrew Tye and coming back in and obviously being a key player, then we had to make that decision in terms of our overseas players. So hence why CV Varun came in instead of Majib. So generally they just, they are interchangeable, and we've got to adapt to different conditions. And the other part of that is we think that in order to be at the back end of the IPL, we're going to have to use a squad as well. So we're not going to go through unchanged. We're going to adapt to different conditions.
Do you think in a way the lack of 6 proper bowling options is what hurt you tonight?
Look, I don't think so. I think we've got 5 really good bowling options. As I said, CV Varun had a tough start. Ashwin decided to bowl Mandeep as a 6th bowling option, and on surfaces that hold, he's actually a good 6th bowling option. But I think we saw how Varun came back, and as I said, he'll give us plenty more confidence in that situation. But yeah, very happy with the balance. We just didn't execute at times, and it's a fine line when you bowl.
Be happy to be back playing on a truer, more batsman-friendly surface.
Very happy to be in Bangalore. Yes, I'm hoping the wicket will be good, but every wicket you play on is going to be different in the IPL and in the world for that matter. So it's up to us to adapt and to play a good game of cricket in the next match and make sure we assess the conditions really well. Whichever wicket we're getting, we've got to play better cricket than we did in the last game.
Maybe talking about assessing conditions, how do 2 teams in the IPL go with such different 11s? Chennai filled the team with spinners. You guys have a lot of seamers in it. So how do 2 teams look at a pitch differently before a match starts? I know what happens later is different.
I won't say we had a lot of seamers. We had a good balanced team, very good balanced cricket team. No one was expecting it. Even Chennai weren't expecting it to play that difficult. So, look, MS and the Chennai guys have got a lot of all-rounders. I think they had 8 bowling options. So that doesn't happen in every team around the world, that's for sure. So I don't think he was 100% sure either. He also had quite a few seamers, but he also had spin backup. We didn't have the luxury of that. But I thought we had a fantastically balanced team that could play cricket on any wicket in the world. Obviously, looking back, after seeing the ball turn 2 meters, who obviously wanted to play an extra spinner, but no one was expecting that to happen.
AB, you are one of the best in the world, and you will be against the best death bowler in the world, Bumrah. So how do you personally plan to tackle the Bumrah challenge before a game?
I think, as I do in every single game I play in the world, you have a look at their strengths and weaknesses. No one is perfect. Yes, Bumrah is a really good bowler, but it's also possible to get hold of him, especially on this at this ground where it's not huge boundaries. The wicket, more often than not, is really good for the batters. So all the bowlers, no matter who you are, under pressure.
Maybe how do you compare this RCB squad to the one you had last year? All the players that have come in, how good do you think the squad is?
I think we've got a little bit of better balance, more options, and I think our middle order has been made stronger quite a bit. So it's an exciting cricket team, and what I also like is you still see the same faces as well. It's not a complete washout of a new team, you know. It's like same faces, but also a bit more strength in the middle order, and I think our balance is better. We have more options as well. Happy? Is that it? Not if I'm going to play the World Cup, nothing.
One of the things that hurt Mumbai in last season was their inability to finish close games. Has there been any discussion regarding that before the tournament?
Yeah, I think, well, since I've been here, we've had a couple of discussions how we're going to go about it. You know, but I think at the end of the day, execution is always key, no matter what plans you have. But in saying that, we do have a couple of the best, well, Bumrah himself especially is one of the best death bowlers in the world, the ones that I've seen of him and played against them. So, yeah, a guy like that, it's alright to be off your mark in one game, knowing that he's going to come back strong. You know, he's not one of the death bowlers in the world for no reason. So, and a couple of the other boys around, guys like Hardik, Mitch, McKagan, they're all top bowlers. So I only see the good out of it coming out of it. I know they're going to bounce back.
Quinton, any update on Jasprit Bumrah? Is he okay to play tomorrow?
Malinga is reaching Bangalore by 9. That's something
Can you, your fellow wicketkeeper batsman, Rishabh Pant, can you take us a bit through that innings? How you felt, you know, watching that particular little guy take on the bowlers?
Yeah, obviously I've played with Rishabh before. I've seen him, watched him grow very quickly actually, for a guy that age to be able to play innings like that at the death. You know, it's quite something to watch, especially where I am there at the back. You know, he is capable of doing that quite often. He has a lot of power in his shots. He's a very strong boy. And yeah, I can only see good coming out of him. I think he's going to be a good investment for India one day. So yeah, it was just something spectacular. I don't think it's going to be the last of him this tournament.
It's early days yet, but how important is it to just get that first win under the belt?
Yeah, obviously any big tournaments around the world, any sports tournament, everybody wants to get off to a good start. But coming into this game, knowing we haven't won a game or RCB. So it's a big game for us tomorrow. We need to get going with a win and hopefully build some momentum on top of that and get things rolling for our campaign this year.
Quinton, last season you were here with RCB, then the trade-off happened, you've gone to Mumbai now, so you're coming back here, so sort of really determined to go ahead and play a big knock, like something what Gale did last year.
Yeah, I think playing in this tournament, no matter who we're playing against, who I'm playing against, I'm always quite determined to score runs, whether it's RCB, Delhi, Sunrisers, whoever. I'm always determined to contribute towards the team and just get the team over to the winning side. That's what my goal is and what I'm going to try and do.
Will Malinga be playing tomorrow? I'm sorry, I didn't hear because I was standing behind.
Sticking to the earlier question about like you played for the franchisee last season here, so you know the bowlers like Umesh Yadav in the nets, and also you played against all these bowlers. How handy will it come like in the match team tomorrow?
Well, obviously, it's one thing knowing the bowlers, but getting out there and actually playing against a competitive surroundings is going to be a different ball game. We're going to have to go out there, assess the wicket first. Play against Umesh, a couple of boys when they're bowling well, they're really hard to get going against. They got some good bowlers in their team that they rely on, and so we're just going to have to go out there and see what happens. Hopefully, we just come out on top. Oh, obviously AB being AB, he's a big wicket for them. I think if we get him out pretty early, we stand a good chance of doing well in the game. So we have spoken about it, how we're going to try to get him out, and hopefully it comes off. Otherwise, we just hope he makes the mistake.
Hi Quinton, looking forward to further international tournaments, specifically the World Cup. Wrist spin has been sort of a thing that some of the international teams have been somewhat weak against. How important is it to iron that out in this IPL?
I think guys that are not from the subcontinent, we come here to IPL, when we come here to something, we try and learn as much as we can of playing against spin. It's the exact same when the subcontinent guys come to our countries, they learn how to play fast bowling. So obviously it's always a learning curve for all of us. Especially India, they got some up and coming really good spinners. Very wily. They know what they're doing with the ball. They know how to bowl. Their control is very good. So obviously, just being able to try to learn when we play against them how to play them, and hopefully we'll take that into the World Cup and come out on top.